What's up there guys, it's Mac, hope you guys are well. As you guys know, I've had quite a bit of issues trying to get modified consoles such as clone consoles. I've bought quite a few clone consoles in the past now, I've done a couple of videos, do check them out, and I've just not been able to get a system that can play Sega Megadrive, aka Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo and the NES games all in the perfect 60 Hz frame rate. So there's been a few issues there, and finally I have decided to just go with the modified console route, and I've decided to either get my NES, my NES Mini ROMs put onto that, and obviously my SNES Mini I'm going to put ROMs onto that as well. So I will be doing some form of hacking onto that and getting those modified so that I can actually put my ROMs onto those as a way of actually playing SNES games. But for the Mega Drive, the main issue was trying to get it to be able to play in the correct speed. Like I can't play Sonic 1 in the slow speed no more. I've tried, obviously I played it in when they released it for the PS3, the Mega Drive collection, and I played Sonic 1 and everything, and I absolutely love the normal speed rate, which is obviously the 60 Hz refresh rate, and I can't go back to that. So anyway, rambling on a bit too much, I basically got a parcel, and it's basically a modified Sega Mega Drive, and it's got a few extra features that I want to quickly go through, and I just want to run through it and show you guys it working. Just want to showcase this new Mega Drive with the modified. It's actually got quite a few modifications done to it. It's got the 60 Hz modification, and it's also got the overclock CPU. Very interesting. Let's take a look. Let's get into that. Okay, so here we have it. This is the Sega Mega Drive. This is also known as the Sega Genesis in the United States, and this is pretty much it. It is a bit beat up, so a bit disappointed about that, but I mean, other than that, the main reason why I got it is obviously purely for these two babies right here. So you've got one switch on the right. This is the one that I knew about. It's got the 50 Hz on to the left. In the middle, you flick it and it becomes 60 Hz American NTSC region. So you get the full screen, no bars, no black bars, and you get the correct speed for Sonic the Hedgehog and any other Mega Drive games as well. But you drop it to the right and you actually get the NTSC J region, so you get the Japanese region. Now I've been told that it plays region-free games, so you can literally play any region games. The space for the cutout hasn't been modified to fit an NTSC J game cartridge because obviously they're a bit more fatter, but you can obviously play it through the Game Genie for the Mega Drive. You can play it through that, and I've actually got that cartridge. I'm going to try that out as well, see if it fits properly, but I don't actually have a Japanese game, so I can't really show you guys that. But anyway, I was planning on actually modifying my Mark II Mega Drive 2. I've actually got the actual components to actually do the modification. But what I noticed about this one when I was actually looking at it on eBay, it was that they actually did something that I never actually knew about. This is overclock CPU. So this switch over here, the secondary switch, has two options. It goes to the 8 megahertz one. I know the 7.6, I believe, is the original standard stock megahertz for the CPU. But the other option that they have on the other side is the 10 megahertz. So what it does, it prevents slowdowns. This was a thing, guys. I didn't even know about this, but I was looking into it, and basically need to do like a heavy modification to actually get that put on. And I was looking into that, and I can't actually see a good enough video on YouTube to how to do that, so I can't modify that myself at the moment. I just felt like there's a bit too much going on there. Something about an oscillator and additional things being put in. You gotta basically solder on a separate chip, two separate chips. So I just thought it was a bit difficult. The modification that I was looking at, and the one that I think I'm still gonna do for my Mark II Megadrive, aka Sega Genesis 2, is a modification to do a language swap, so you can play things like Streets of Rage 1 in the Japanese mode, so it becomes bare knuckle fighting, things like that, or you can play it in the power region. So that's this language switch that I can do, and also the 50Hz and 60Hz full bars option to change that to. I can do those mods. I think I can do it. I'm pretty confident in doing that, and I will possibly do it on that one. The one thing that I couldn't do, and I'm not gonna even attempt to do, would be the actual overclocking, which I only found out about when I was actually researching a bit more about other Mega Drive mods they can do. So anyway, this is the one that I bought. I got for quite a good deal off eBay. It's just the console unit itself. And yeah, let's quickly just show you a bit of gameplay. I've got a few games to test it with. So I've got Mega Drive Streets of Rage 1 in the collection, and obviously Super Hang-On as well, so that can show how it's actually playing with the 10 megahertz. Essentially 10 megahertz overclocking the CPU. What it does is that it increases, it gives it a much more of a smoother gameplay. So when you change to 60 hertz, you'll see that there can be quite a few slowdowns when you're having a lot of things happening on the same screen at the same time. So you know when you're playing Streets of Rage 1 and you get loads of players around you and they're just literally bombarding you and you're attacking them, you see that when you kick it, it slows down. When you kick the jugular, you can see like the axle will really slow down as it's coming down with the knee kick. But when you flick it over, what would happen is that it would just carry on playing as it should be, and there wouldn't be any slowdown, no noticeable slowdown on the 10 megahertz. So basically you're overclocking the CPU. I just thought that's a really cool feature, and if I'm gonna get modify my console, I like it to have that as well. So I thought, let me just pick it up straight from eBay, pre-modded. I will open it up at some point and see exactly how he's done it, but definitely cool to have a modified console already. So I'm gonna check on that. Definitely I'm gonna check it out with the Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I really wanna see that intro play in super fast mode. So you can basically flip between 50 Hz, 60 Hz and 60 Hz NTSC-J on the fly, but the megahertz needs to be done before you start the cartridge, and you can't do that in mid-game. The final game that I wanna try out obviously would be the Sega Everdrive. I wanna see if that works, and I can launch any games with that, so I want to see if that is working on this as well. Anyway, let's get to it. The next part of the video is going to be mainly the gameplay, and we'll see how it performs. See you guys in a bit. Thanks again for returning, guys. I've been doing a bit of testing on it, and definitely the 50 to 60 Hertz switch is definitely working beautifully. I can see it right here. I'll show the sound as well. So this is currently on 50 Hertz, and just hear the beginning of that, and you could actually tell how much of a slowdown it is. So yeah, just literally just hear that bit. Really slow. You can see the borders over here, top and bottom. So you can see the chunky border over here, and it's like really slow. But watch the difference when I'm put it to 60 Hertz now. Let's quickly just restart that. So this is in 60 Hertz, and just to see the difference, hear the difference. Way better. I'm like, wow. The difference in that is just wicked. No borders. And yeah, now you can actually play the game. Now it's at normal speed. So you can sort of see his difference. It's 60 Hertz and then 50 Hertz. See the border returns. And then 60 Hertz. Definitely a big difference. Now I wasn't able to actually see the difference with the overclocking. I just couldn't seem to see it. I tried it with Sonic 2, but I couldn't seem to find the bit where it slows down. I need to do a bit more testing on that to see how that works. But yeah, that's basically the Megadrive. This is my normal Megadrive 2 Mark II one, and it's the unmodified one. Obviously, the one over there has the 2 switches at the back. I'll just quickly take it off here, and yeah, as you can see, there's one with the 2 switches at the back there. So yeah, so you got the 8 megahertz, and then you've got the 10 megahertz switch over there, which overclocks the actual CPU, and you've got the switch over here on the right, which on the right on this side here you've got 50 hertz. In the middle you've got NTSC 60 hertz, and on the left you've got the NTSC J Japanese 60 hertz. So I'll just leave it in the center, and that's about it. So anyway guys, that's the Sega Megadrive Mark II modified console that I picked up from eBay. Got it for quite a decent deal. Now I could finally play my Megadrive games. Oh, also it does work with the EverDrive as well, so it works perfectly fine. What I noticed was that you can actually load up any ROMs, and you can flip the actual language to like Japanese or English. I loaded up the UK version of Streets of Rage 1 from the ROM, and then I flipped the switch, and then it became bare knuckle fighting as well. So yeah, you can do the region mod with the language on any ROMs. It doesn't really matter about the cartridge itself, and I would imagine that it would not have any issues playing the fatter cartridge using the Game Genie, obviously. So yeah, absolutely an awesome system, a really good pickup. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate all of my subscribers, so thank you very much for that. And until next time, take care guys. This is Mac. Peace out.